Hey Scott, how you doing? Well, I think you sent the heat over to us, so you need to take it back. Hey Raz. Yeah, I was watching some videos today how over in like France and the UK they don't want air conditioning, which I think is BS. I'm pretty sure a lot of them want it, but some of the older generations like, I refuse to put AC in my house, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? You know? But I guess they're so worried about like the energy of the world and all that stuff, so I don't know. I mean, I got those Fujitsu units in my house, and they really don't pump out that much electricity or heat, and they're really efficient. So, I mean, my wall unit in here is not the best, but still. I don't know, they're a little crazy out there. Yeah, I guess that pretty much sums it. Because, like, what is it over in, I think, New York right now? They have a brownout. I think, like, the Bronx is out. But the City Hall is, like, 72 degrees in there. And it's, like, there's no one in the building. So City Hall could stay with AC, but the people can't. So... Yeah, I love watching those Europeans that are here for the American, the soccer World Cups. Their like minds are blown that you could go into a convenience store and there's AC. So it's pretty crazy what's going on. I was actually expecting a brownout around my area. I'm still expecting it might happen, and sadly, I still never got my inverter generator yet. But I haven't really pumped up the AC that much. Yeah, it was funny too. I was also watching a video today. They said that there's more deaths in the European nations due to heat stroke than there is gunshots in America. So they're more worried about guns, but heat stroke is what makes people pass away more over there. It's kind of crazy. You know what's weird though? I don't know if you guys saw. I'm pretty sure Raz did. There's about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, there was a lot of people going in and out of the sewers late at night in New York, like all around New York City, and they were seeing people going in and out of the sewers, and they weren't even like, you know, workers. So I wonder if they did something to get ready for this brownout stuff, and they're the ones who causing it, you know? I don't know if you saw that. Like, it could have been like a terrorist cell, or they were planning on, like, causing the brownouts. Yeah, it was weird. They were just, like, late at night, people were filming them, and it was just people, like, running out of a van, and they were going to, like, manhole covers, and they were jumping down in there. And I think a couple police went and got them to come out, but they never said what they were doing. Probably part of the plan. Yeah, they could have always been doing that, living down there. It's just that now people noticed it. Who knows? Probably. Change this. Well, I already saw what they were doing with the whole rent system. So basically, what is it? It's a plan to force landlords to not raise the rent, so the landlords don't put any people in the apartments. Therefore, it becomes dilapidated, and then New York could come in and take the properties away through their new law, something like that. So, hey, what's up, Raccoon? So I've been hearing a lot about that too, because that's going on with this whole heat wave thing. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, we're gonna have, what is it, Escape from New York soon? I think we're headed that way, right? My desk chair is starting to warp on me. I think it's time to, hopefully Black Friday, get a new one. Yeah, see, I've been trying not to run the AC too much, but also not sweat my ass off in the house. Only because the studio becomes a hot box. Oh, nice. Glad you're getting your items in. That should be pretty fun. Yeah, I'm thinking of I need a day to just do my own crap for once. So I was thinking if I don't have anything going on, maybe tomorrow after lunch, because I gotta go do some stuff with my parents. Maybe I could spend a couple hours working on the bayonet kit. I need a couple hours to myself for once. That's good, at least you're keeping busy. I had more delays this week. I won't get into what it is, but once again, I was hoping I could do a day in the garage and get a lot of this stuff sanded, but that didn't happen. Hope Butterfly comes into the stream. I want to work on his item a bit. I just need to ask him a couple questions. It's a good thing I got that AC unit for the garage, because holy crap, it was I think it was Wednesday. I had to do some stuff in there and it was hot as hell, so I had that sucker going. It worked out pretty well too. Which prints did you get in? Do you leave your Aves in the refrigerator? That'll help make the Aves last longer. I try to put my Aves in the refrigerator when I know I'm not going to use it for a while, like if I'm like in a paint phase, or when I get new Aves and I'm not using it yet, I keep it in the fridge. Just make sure you don't accidentally start eating it. Like, you know how it's starting to get really hot out, so like if I'm not going to be in the studio much, or it gets hot in the studio like at night, like when you get those really, really hot waves, I might take the Aves out of the drawer here and put it in the fridge. That's when it gets really crusty. I gotta go roll this out real quick. What it is, Scott, it's probably like I've explained in the past. Aves might be softer than your resin, so when you're sanding, the Aves is sanding faster than the resin, so you get sort of like a dip. And then there's times when the resins are softer than the Aves, versa. So you got to sort of you got to use like a means of sanding it straight. It's kind of a pain. Like this type of sandpaper, it would be good to sort of keep it straight, whereas if you might use like the sponge might actually like push down a bit and sand the part. It's kind of a pain. I have that problem with like Aves and polystone. That's why I use that this putty to sort of try to level it out best I can. Get organized a bit. One thing I noticed though too is when you work in the heat, this stuff sort of dries up faster than you want it to. Hey Jeff, I never used the glazing putty. I'm not really, I try to stay away from Bondo. I always feel like Bondo is super soft even when it's cured. I like the way Aves is more like of a, you know, like a polystone rock. I don't know, I feel like even when I use Bondo, like if I use Bondo for like the bottom of a base to level it out, I'm okay with that. But I've tried Bondo like filling in like cracks in the past, and I just, one, it's the smell, and two, I just find that it's too soft. Like, I don't know, it's weird. Yeah, like I said, Bondo is good for filling in, like, I like it for bases, really, like, smoothing it out and filling in there. Plus, it's on the cheaper end, too. But I know guys in the past in the hobby used Bondo for, like, filling cracks. I just didn't like how messy it was. But, I mean, if it works for you. I saw a video of some guy that was doing woodwork though, but he used a big mix of Bondo filler, you know, like regular Bondo, and then Bondo resin, and he mixed the two together, and it gave him a very liquidy like filler. But he used it on like this big plank of wood, and it smoothed it all out. But it took like, I think he said it takes like 8 hours to cure. But yeah, it was weird. You mix both of the Bondos together, and I didn't realize Bondo made a resin. Probably should have saved the video. Yeah, I mean, I have no use for it, but I've seen the video, so it's pretty interesting. Oops. I should move the camera here. Hard rock water putty? Does it come in like big amounts, or is it very like smaller type tube stuff? I mean, I'm always looking for easier ways to do bases and fill that's on the cheaper end, but sometimes it's still not cheaper to do it. But I also want quality stuff too. I don't want to use cheap crap and it comes out crap. Is that, it sounds like, oh, Durham's. Oh, yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. Durham's, I have a can of that. Oh. Yeah, you should have said Durham's at first. There's only a downside with that stuff. What's the word called it? Where's my can? Yeah, see, I have the can here. Yep, same thing. There's a downside to it that I've learned with it. If you, certain resins, like 3D print resin, somebody printed me a resin, and I don't think it was frozen 4K. I think it was more of the, what is it, the ABS resin, I think it is. That's more of the plastic stuff. What happened is I put the Durham's putty in there, and then after I thought it cured, like I left it open for like, 2 or 3 days, I sealed it with Bondo. When I turned it upside around, on top with the X base for like an X-Men character, what happened is there was still a lot of moisture in there. And what happened is the top of the base broke open and peeled back. And because there was so much moisture in that, Durham's putty that needed to release, it just warped the resin, popped it. So, while I like that stuff, I don't want to use it anymore on like 3D prints, because it seems that if that moisture doesn't really get out of there, it warps the ABS type resin. So I kind of keep the Durham's putty more to, like if I work on like a Sideshow Collectibles polystone statue, because I figure that stone will be a little bit better and won't absorb it, whereas the 3D resin that I used, it's soaked in the moisture. It was horrible. So that was a big old cluster of fuck. Basically, I had to get the base reprinted. I figure Durham's is better for like, you know, 2-part resins, polystone, stuff like that. But when it comes to like the 3D prints, it doesn't like that kind of moisture, so I'm staying away from that. Hard lesson learned. So then, you guys see the Supergirl movie? I didn't go see it, so I heard it did very, very bad. So I don't think I'm actually gonna go see that one in the movies. Yep, take it easy, Jeff. Yeah, I was kind of curious if you guys saw it. It seemed that a couple of the YouTube channels and people I sort of know who, like, we all agree on the same stuff, They all said it was pretty bad. And then I found out that the girl who wrote it, she's never produced or wrote a movie in her life. So I don't understand why they gave her a like multi-million-dollar project and she never did anything. Usually you kind of start small and you build up, but they gave this girl who's never wrote anything a movie deal. So I don't know. I don't understand that really. And then they also they leaked the plot to Avengers Doomsday. I won't give you guys the plot leak, but not really. Doesn't sound too interesting to me. Yeah, I figured let me read it. Let me read the leak, see if it's like kind of interesting. And I have to say I'm not really interested in it. It doesn't. I think they messed up Marvel so much with the multiverse, and I think it was just too complicated for a lot of like non-fans out there. Like for me, I understand multi-Earths, I understand alternate universes, I know variant characters, I understand Secret Wars, and I think they just threw too much of that too fast at non-comic fans. So like I have a cousin who's always asking me, or a friend, or they're always asking me like, what the hell's this? I don't understand that. Why is this a different Earth? Why is this person like this? I have to sit there and send them links and Wikipedia pages, and they're just like, this is too much. So they didn't simplify it enough for people. And I think Doomsday is going to confuse more people, so it's going to be interesting. I didn't see that raccoon. I don't know. I could care less pretty much. I think they had their time in the sun, and I think they just they dropped the ball with all these other movies. I just don't think people care much anymore. But I'm having more fun watching all the bricks and minifig situation with the Legos. That stuff is still going on and it's mind-blowing. Some of it slowed down, but for a while there, it was like every day there was something new. So basically, the latest thing is Reckless Ben got lawyers, so they're trying to negotiate with the bricks and minifigs of the silence order, the cease and desist order, or whatever the hell it was. The problem with that order was they silenced Ben to the point where it goes against his Fourth Amendment, you know, freedom of speech. Or whatever, First Amendment, whatever it was. And so they're fighting that. And I think Bricks and Minifigs is starting to realize they're going to lose everything. So I think they're trying to come with a deal. The latest thing was they're supposed to work out a deal with Ben. Because I think they realized a lot of the stuff they said was lies against him. And it actually makes them look pretty worse. So I think we're going to come to a conclusion with that, like through negotiations. I don't think, because they pulled, first they had the, they were going to go through Utah court, but the judge is the one who signed off on all the police crap. So I think they're going to, Ben's attorneys got it sent to federal court, so that one Utah judge won't be able to cover their ass anymore. But I think if they, from what I gather, if they can settle out of court and finalize it, Ben still could put lawsuits against the police and all of what the police did to him. So it's still not over after Bricks and Minifigs. So I have a funny feeling they're going to do some major lawsuits against the police. That'll probably go on for like a year or two. But they'll either settle out of court or he'll sue them, one or the other. And the sad thing is, if they settle out of court, it's not that the police get hit, it's the taxpayers are going to have to pay out. So, all the people's taxes are going to go up because of the police. But the funny thing is, the police that are involved, there's been more videos of them coming out of shady stuff they've done. So, it's absolutely amazing. No, so far the Legos haven't been returned. They don't know if the original owners of the franchise sold more Legos than they thought and had to pay out Ben, or that the Legos were still in storage, because it's like a shit show. It's a mess, because Bricks and Minifigs came in, they kicked them out of the store before going through all the inventory and looking through everything, so they don't really know, you know. First it was $200,000, and then Bricks and Minifigs says it's only worth $100,000, but then we find out it's really worth like $140,000. So it's like, all because they were greedy. They're a shady business. They used the police as their strong arm, and they thought they were going to get away with it because they've gotten away with it. Because it seems like a couple other franchise owners came out with stuff, and they thought that because they have the police under their thumb in their own little small town, they could do whatever. But they went up against the internet, and the internet doesn't mess around. So it's just an ongoing battle right now. And I'm here for it because it's a lot of fun to watch. But so Ben still has a part 3 video that's supposed to come out. Now that they're working on the restraining order, if they could lift that restraining order, he could put out part 3, and we'll find out even more crap that's gone on. But then there's still 3 other parts after that. That's what he said. So this police force is horrible. There's a video of some guy on his knees, and he was giving up to them, and another cop pulled up, ran out of his car, and tackled the guy for no reason and started beating him up. Then there's another video of the police pulling over a guy in a non-carpool lane, and he wasn't even in his jurisdiction. And there's another video of this police force kicking open a door to make these people sign papers that they didn't even have a warrant for. It's like this police force is absolutely corrupt. It's unreal. Well, that's their playbook. That's what Bricks and Minifigs does. Is that anyone that goes against them, they claim cyberbullying. They claim they're a very, very shady company. These two brothers who own Bricks and Minifigs, they actually had their father owned a company called Legally Mine. It was like a shady company where they try to teach people how to legally steal stuff from people. But then their 2 sons sued the father and won. It's like I said, the rabbit hole goes deep. Like, you really have to watch these videos. I'm sure somebody will make like a timeline of the video soon of everything that's gone on. But these guys who own Bricks and Minifigs are very, very shady. Another franchise owner came out and said that he owned a franchise. It wasn't doing so well, so he asked them for like help, with advertising. But they came in and they just kicked him out, and they took over his franchise because it wasn't doing well, and they just booted him. It's like it's just one thing after another. It's crazy. The whole entire thing is a shit show, and it's entertaining as hell. Yeah, and the police force that had the warrant to go into the Airbnb for Ben to claim that they were looking for stolen Legos. They never looked for Legos. They just arrested everybody, and that's illegal because the warrant was just for Legos. It wasn't for arrests. They didn't even search for Legos. They arrested. And then the owner of the Airbnb is friends with the cops, and he claimed that he heard about stolen Legos, like listening in, and that's illegal for an Airbnb owner. It's like it just keeps snowballing. It's crazy. Oh, their business is done. Everybody's boycotting Bricks and Minifigs. I feel bad for all the franchise owners. It's not their fault, but the franchise owners should sue the corporation because they're the ones who are causing the problem for everybody. Instead of them just going, hey, we took over the franchise, let's get all your Legos, let's get the paperwork. They saw that the Lego collection was such an expensive, rare collection worth, like over $100,000. They wanted to steal all that stuff and then say, oh, well, sue me, it doesn't matter. This company and these guys use the court system to their advantage, which is, if you don't like what we're doing, sue us, but we'll make sure that it stays in court for as long as possible, so you'll never get your money back. Even the one guy who worked for Brittany McFit, he was recorded saying that to the guy who owned the Star Wars Legos. Like I said, it's just everything that's coming out is making them look worse and worse and worse, and they're never gonna win now, because the internet is against them. Even people in Japan and China are like calling them out. It's crazy. Like I said, I'm so entertained with this whole situation. That's how much fun it's been watching it. It's such a shit show. That's how funny it is. They've caught the owner in lies. They've caught the franchise guys who came in to take over the store in lies. They caught the police force in lies. The police are morons. They sent out all the videos that was redacted, and they uploaded the stuff to a public file, and everybody got those files, and it's all out. It's like, it's so bad. It's so bad out there. You know what? I'll actually, hold on. What should we call it? Let me, I'll show you. I'll click 2 videos of this police force. This police force is so... Oh, there we go. Here we go. So, here's one video on that police. Here's another video on this police. Let's see, and then I think there was... Where's the other one? Here's this one. Like I said, there's just video after video about this police department. It's crazy. It's like at some point you gotta send in the feds to see what the hell's going on with this little police department. I don't know if you guys watch those type of videos, but I like watching those lackluster and audit videos. I like it because it actually, you know, it teaches people their rights, but it also holds the police accountable. You know, there's a lot of good police, but then you see these videos and it's like, these guys are crazy. The funny thing you mentioned that is Lego has not said a word. Lego stayed out of this whole entire thing. Lego put out a statement, I think, or not really a statement publicly, but they sent it to like a lot of their workers in and their like customer service. They said they're aware of the Lego situation and just tell everybody that Lego is not affiliated with the situation and they have no say or what's going on. But the sad thing though is Bricks and Minifigs is still an authorized reseller for Legos, and Lego hasn't like blocked their reseller or something, so that's a problem. It's bad. It's pretty bad. Like a couple of the franchise stores got broken into now. There's people going in there causing fights. And that's kind of shitty though, because it's not like the franchise owners are... They're not the ones that cause this. It's you know, the franchise, you know, Bricks and Minifigs, the main company that caused it. But some of the franchise owners are shady. So it's just a shit show. I mean, honestly, if they gave the Legos back and they just made it seem like they're a really good business and they take care of their customers, they probably would have been making money hand over fist right now. But they were so adamant of stealing the Star Wars collection and keeping all the money, it backfired on them. Because they thought that, oh, it's going to blow over in a couple days and blah, blah. They don't realize they went to war with the internet. They literally went to war with the internet. Not, like, Reckless Ben is sort of like, this is what he does, and people back him. But when they started, like, just basically saying, oh, you know, screw you, you can't do anything to us, and, you know, it's like, they didn't realize, like, how the internet is, especially when you really, really screw over the little man. So, and this is going to be studied in, like, law books and businesses for years, they said. They said that colleges that, like, teach business courses are going to be teaching this now going forward, you know, because you can't fight the internet. I mean, I'm not explaining it all perfect, but I'm just giving you kind of the rundown. It's pretty crazy. Hey JC, how you doing? Yeah, we got the heat wave here too. But we get this every year, you know. The media is acting like it's the end of the world. Yeah, Scott gets it worse than us, so. True. We had way more cooler days than we normally have every year, so. I thought was pretty nice, considering. Oh yeah, this hot weather is perfect for vegetables. So I'm pretty sure once the farmer's market opens up by me on, I think it's on Thursdays, gonna be some good corn this year probably. But like I said, we get this heat every year, but the media always makes it out to be it's the hottest on record, it's the end of the world. But you know, I think it's always been this way to me. Media just loves those clicks. I mean, we have, I don't know if you guys have had any brownouts, but down by me, we've had brownouts for lesser heat than what we have right now. So that's why I was expecting a brownout today or maybe even this weekend. But everybody down here is getting ready for the 4th. I went to the butcher this morning because I wanted to grab some, I wanted to get like a skirt steak for the weekend for myself, and I got there just as it opened and it was packed with people. So I had to wait for like 30 minutes just to get my number called. Then I went to ShopRite, and ShopRite was absolutely mobbed, so everyone's getting ready for the weekend. I forgot that on Friday, the day before, you know, July 4th, everyone's off. So I forgot everybody was off, and that's why I was like, crap. But at least I got some stuff for the weekend. But I don't go to fireworks. I don't go watch them or anything because I just don't care. I'd rather just have a good meal for the day and just chill, watch a movie or something. You guys have any plans for the weekend? Like when I was younger, I used to go to the fireworks, but now I can kind of care less. Plus, my neighbor, 3 houses away, does fireworks all year long, so he's always popping off something down there. Dude's probably older than me, and he just loves his fireworks. Oh, okay. You don't like the fireworks? Yeah, animals don't like the fireworks. I just don't like going out in the hot weather, having to put on tons of off so you don't get bit by mosquitoes just to watch some fireworks. I used to hate that as a kid, but that's what we had to do. When I got older, I just don't care. Going to bed, yeah, that's good. Yeah, a fire pit would be good too. I could see that. Burger, salad, yeah, that's simple crap is good. I think around me though, like when I grew up in North Jersey, you could walk like literally the area where they did the fireworks in my town was only about a 5-minute walk for me, so it was easy. But down here, I'd probably have to drive somewhere and park just to kind of see where it's at. So I'm sure all the people on the shoreline that look outside the bay will probably see fireworks all over the place, which would be cool, but I don't know anybody to do that. And the bay by me down here probably gets packed with cars. I don't know, there's too many mosquitoes by me to deal with that crap. I can't stand the mosquitoes. I was actually thinking of doing a Cannonball Run marathon this weekend too. You know, I figured Cannonball Run would be a good good movies to kind of binge watch. That was the 200th anniversary in Hawaii. I think they're going to go all out this year because of all the Europeans that are here for the soccer events. So I think we're going to see some crazy firework videos and stuff. Might even see some people lose some hands. To this day, it still shocks me that going into a that basically you can whatchamacallit, buy fireworks at Walmart in New Jersey, when growing up they were completely illegal and cops used to try to hunt you down if you did fireworks. But now you can just go in there and buy them. It's crazy. It's like, that's mind-blowing to me. What kind of attack, raccoon? You're out in the boonies. You guys got plenty of ammo and military to back you up. Yeah, because growing up, we had to go to PA to get our fireworks. So the problem was, is if you drove over the border and then you came back, the police in New Jersey were there waiting for you, and they would stop you and they would, like, you know, see if you had fireworks and stuff. Of course, that was back in the day before cameras, so they can search your car without, you know, proving anything. So you would have to try to get your fireworks months in advance to bring them back, and it was always a shit show trying to get them. You know, you had to know somebody that had family members in PA that could get them throughout the year, and then you would have to try to sneak them over. Yeah, I think there's only so much you can buy in New Jersey. I don't think you can get, like, you know, the M80s and pineapples and stuff like that, but you can get stuff that you could never get before. I think the only thing you could really get in New Jersey was sparklers back then, but even those were still illegal, but the cops really didn't do anything about sparklers. They would kind of just like, let the kids have fun. But if you were doing like M80s or firecrackers, they'd come after you. Oh, you're talking about terror attack. I got you. All right. Yeah, we'll see. Might be. It's possible something like that could happen. Good. I'm running into a problem with this. I wish Butterfly didn't answer me. I'm sure he'd want to change, but I still need approval. Problem with this head is it leans down. I would think he would want it like leaning forward or something, but it looks weird looking down at her breasts. I want to redo the neck looking forward. Yeah, I don't know what statue Butterfly got for this one. I mean, I did a lot of work on it though, because it was like a futuristic punk skater or something. I don't know what it was. So I had to redo the feet. I built out the legs and wrinkles, and then this area right here was all nude, so I filled this in, and then also up here her rib cage was showing. So this, and I just redid the breasts now. Yeah, I would think put the head up, but I still need an okay from Butterfly, because I don't want to do it and then he's like, oh no, I wanted it looking down. You know, it's weird that it was looking down that far. I mean, look how much her head goes down. I'm sorry, you're not even seeing it. Should have said something. So look how far it looks down. It really should be more like that. So yeah, I don't know the kit. If Butterfly ever comes into the chat again, you can ask. I don't know if he's had this kit for ages or something he picked up, but maybe she is liking the boo job. But and then so we got the helmet pretty much situated. So I was looking at some of these hand files I have, not files, but hands I have here. So I don't know if this one handle is actually going to work. So if we put her like this, I don't know if this hand might. I think this hand's kind of in scale. So her hand would have to be something like. Kind of like this, I guess. Something like that. I think that hand will work. Because these hands are a little wonky. Yeah, maybe JC. You know, I got lots of people on the list. It's just a matter of when. And I think maybe this hand looks a little small, but I do have these hands. So I'm thinking maybe this hand, would swap it out with like this here or something. This one. Where are the pictures of her? Now, did she have something on the back of her? He sent me no, she didn't have the belt on the back of her. All she had was the backpack. So all she had was the backpack there. The problem was I was looking at the belts and like there's a bunch of different versions of the belt, so I had to kind of come up with something. So the only issue though is now that he wanted cleavage showing, I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put the belt on her chest. Now there's two ways of doing it. One, I think he sent me a picture where it's actually not on there and it's clipped off, so the straps are kind of like not clipped. Which maybe we might do, or maybe we'll clip it at the bottom. I have to see what he wants. I guess she's got different hairstyles too, right? Well, it's kind of all the same. Yeah, JC, I don't know who these characters are. I never watched this stuff, so I really don't know. But it's moving fairly fast, which is good. So if I could keep this pace up, I'll be happy. But if we stop having family emergency stuff, I can get ahead and get this done. I gotta Because I got to work on Joe's Gwen Stacy item. I need a good day or two of just doing hair. And I haven't had that. Because whenever I have an emergency and I have to stop working, that's not a good time to do hair. So. Yeah, I'm looking at it, but I was just kind of... I was seeing that, you know, this hair sort of is like this, but then I guess somebody sculpted this hair like this way a little bit, even though it's kind of close. So you can kind of see. I mean, I'll kind of come up with it my way as best as possible. Yeah, the only thing though is she has this backpack, you know, that's the only thing. Yeah, I'm thinking, you know, if he wants to show cleavage, it's not. He did send me this one pic. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, so here's the other picture. So he sent me this one too. So it kind of looks like, you know, the straps aren't connected, that they're kind of loose. So maybe we're gonna go with this route. He even said question marks about it. So maybe what I'll do is put the strap over but not connect it in front. But see, the problem though is, like, I start looking at a lot of these artworks, and even though they're sort of the same, the belts are sort of different, and, you know, the gloves are a little different. So I guess we gotta, because, you know, somebody drew this, but then when you look at this image, she's got different types of gloves on, you know. This is all white with a red thing here, but then this is all red with, you know, so. It's going pretty good so far. I think I got through the hardest parts now. The helmet was hard, and the main outfit was hard. The straps and everything will be a little bit tricky, and I think the hardest part though will be the helmet. Just to try to get this helmet situated here without falling underneath her arm. So I think what's going to happen is, like, I might have to, like, put a hole in the helmet and then, like, attach it into the arm somewhat, like there, and then sort of go underneath the kit after it's painted inside and, like, lock it in place. It's not the best option in the world, but it's all we can do as a custom. So I mean, in reality though, if it was like sculpted from scratch, you would do a better job of having the hand hold the helmet. But we're getting there, slowly working. But I'm happy with the way the front of her body came out, and then her booty too. So it's really different, I guess you could say, mass compared to the original kit. She was basically like a nude kit. I wonder if it's got to be on the E203 what the kit was. Just don't know. Maybe it was was it Macross? A different version? I know Butterfly mentioned what it was, but I can't remember. I know I've seen the kit before. Oh, this is the kit. Okay, I just found it. All right, just found it. There we go. Can't show those pictures, but this is the kit. All right, I just went through the email and I found out what it was. There we go. All right, hold on. All right, here we go. So this is the kit where you're using. So that's the kit, and you can see how far she's come from that kit already. Oops, we got the picture in the way. Let's get the picture out of the way. So you can see. So basically, the feet, very like futuristic. So I had to. This is a removable piece, so that was nudity there, and this is all removable. So you can see how she has this helmet like that, but sadly it's not going to look exactly like that. But this I had to rebuild all these feet and rebuild them, so you can see the big change compared to what they were. So it's called. I went into his emails. It's Spica, S-P-I-C-A. Is that what it was? Something like that. Hold on. Let me see if I kept it. Let's see. Yeah, S-P-I-C-A. Spikia anime. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I don't know if it's a specific. Yeah, it's a matter of always the pose, but it's also how much work is involved. Because this character was a little bit more of a, this is removable and that's removable, so you have a bare nude female. Except for the feet, so it's easier to build off that. But if this was like all attached to her, then it would be a nightmare to pull all that off. You know what I'm saying? So it's always easier to work off the nude as much as you can. And I'm not saying that you can't rip all this off, but it just requires more work and time. So. But you can see the difference in. Yeah, if the outfit's close, if the pose is close, it's just that, like you can't take like a Iron Man statue and make Captain America out of it, because it's all that armor. You're rebuilding everything from scratch. You got to have limitations and know what you can and can't do. But with like 3D printing now, though, you can skip stuff. Like, say this character is basically nude, but it's got a mechanical arm. You can go into buy a file and you could reprint a different arm and scale. So it works out easier that way. I've had a lot of people who've contacted me and are like, oh, I got this statue collecting dust. I want to make this character. I'm like, well, you realize the amount of work just to prep the item is going to cost more than just going and buying like a generic female 3D file or something. So. Yeah, but Spikia, I don't know. I can't find any information about it. But it was on E2036 site, whatever the hell I always forget the damn name of this site. Hey. Spica. There's no other. There's no information about her. It's just Spica. Spica. I don't know. I have no clue what the hell this character is. Maybe it's just like a random. It's a random statue character? Alright, well, if a butterfly sees this video after it's posted, email me and let me know what you want to do about this head. Because, I mean, at this angle, having her eyes look this way works. But if you look at her straight on, it looks like her neck is broken and she's looking at her hoo-has. So I would think she should be more straighter. I mean, we could actually turn the head too. You know, we could, you can have her looking this way, looking that way, a little bit of an angle upwards. Because my idea would be, rip this out, put a rod in here, and put the head where we want to put it, and then build out the neck. So it's got to be like, got to figure out something on this because this looks weird. Yeah, a little bit turned, I think would look kind of cool. You know, like if it's a little bit like maybe looking that way, I guess. A little bit upwards. I think would look kind of cool. Let's see, kind of. But then again, like I said, it always goes to where the person's going to put it in their collection. So I'm thinking like kind of turn like that a little bit. Kind of fits the pose of going in this direction but looking a little bit this way. That's kind of what I would do. It wouldn't look good turned that way. Yeah, it's kind of downward. You know what I think it too was? It's because I redid the feet. I think she kind of leaned back more. Maybe that's why it's kind of that way, but since I kind of corrected the feet. Yeah, she looks like she's kind of looking for where the olive fell from her martini. That's just me, though. Alright, so I'll wait for a reply on that. There's not much going on tonight, guys, so sadly, until I get my life situated. But as far as Peach goes, we're looking pretty good on her. So so I got these pieces done here. This is going to be painted pretty good. I got to do a little of sanding. But I gotta get some. So I did get that magnet in the foot. There is a magnet in the base hidden, so now she goes into the base really, really well. She doesn't really twist or fall or anything. So like if you try to lift her up, it's kind of almost picking up the base with the magnets, which is good because before she was kind of all over the place. So I think we're kind of. I just need to. I think what I'm going to do is after I paint her up, I'll put the little Bowser medallions on her boot straps at the end. You know, a little glue and pop them on. But I think she's ready to go now. I just got to clean up for paints. I don't think there's anything else to do to her. She's pretty much ready to go. So the only thing I think I really have to do is get Cammy situated. I think that's the last one we have to finish up on. She needs I need a good cleaning on her. I haven't had a chance to do anything. But let's kind of pop her out. Yeah, she's still a mess. She's still a friggin' mess. I don't want to break that. Yeah, I haven't. We're gonna have to plan a day where I get a bunch of nice cold Gatorade situated, turn on the AC in the garage, and sand all this down. I gotta clean all this up. I should probably put that eaves on that now. Might as well clean it while I got it. Man, I tell you, life gets in the way too much lately. I had a family meeting for my mother this week, and it didn't go too well, so it's a little bit of a messy situation. That's what delayed me again. So I think until and I'm sorry I don't really post on the Patreon. It's just everything's kind of. I think this summer is not going to go as planned. Try not to get too into it, but there's too much problems with medical issues that assisted living is not accepting her back, and she's got to go into a nursing home. So it's kind of a bad week, you know. Ever since the fall, things have just gotten worse. And not much I could do about it. She just got her will done now. Should have done the will years ago. I gotta get my will done. I gotta get it all situated. Oh, now you jump in chat, Butterfly. Jesus, you're like 5 minutes late. But yeah, it's not a good week. So, like I said, until I get things situated, I'm gonna be all over the place. I had a funny feeling this 2006 was gonna be another bad year. But I promise, once things kind of calm down, I hope to get back to a really good routine on everything. I have to, because I got to get stuff done. I can't keep putting everything off. Yeah, Butterfly, we went over your kit. I worked on it. Everybody says it was horrible, so we threw it away in the trash. So, sorry. The chat spoke. They said, nope, it's crap. Get rid of it. So, chat said get rid of it. We got rid of it. Yeah. Got a lot of work on this skirt still. All right. Need to get off my ass and get this done. Yeah. All right. Now that butterfly finally came in, I'll go over real quick, and then I guess that'll be it for the day. Okay, so I worked out the belt a little bit more. I got to sand it down, but this is kind of the design I saw on everybody else. I know some of them had a huge belt, but that was kind of more animated, where it's like the waist was smaller. So this is, you know, once I sand it down, I think it'll look pretty cool. And of course, you see the way the chest is with the shirt. So the question we had was the head. Head is in a weird position. So I guess I wanted to work on it tonight, but you came late. You screwed everything up. The timetable shot. It's like anarchy in chat now. So anyway, her head looks down, and it looks really, really weird. Do you like the head like that, or would you want the head to kind of be repositioned to maybe like look a little bit to the like correct and look this direction or something? Because I think it would kind of look cool if she was kind of looking this way a little bit. There you go, JC. That's the reference. You know, it just looks weird if you look here. How she's looking down at her chest. So that's kind of the problem I'm running into right now with the head. And I didn't want to reposition the head without you say so, because I know sometimes people like the way things are. And I learned my lesson a year and a half ago with somebody where I tried to give them something cool and they flipped out on me, so I need to know how you want it done. I mean, if you want the head straight on, we can do the head straight on. If you want it turned this way, we can. If you want it looking up, but I'm thinking more kind of like that. But what I can do is, if you're okay with the head being changed, what I'll do is I'll Dremel this off, and I'll Dremel a hole here right now, and what I'll do is I'll put a rod in here, a bendable rod, and I could bend the head and send you a picture, and if you like it, I could build a neck. I just want to, if you're okay with that. Alright, so since I got some A's and you're here, I'll start the rod on the head, and then I'll attach it on here and then send you pics. And then from there I'll build out the neck. Because I don't want to... It just... Like I said early in the stream, I think what it was is before I did the feet, she leaned back a little bit further. But now that I redid the feet to make it look correct, it just looks weird. Alright, let me Dremel this real quick. Don't let JC fool you. He offered to buy this from you from under your nose. I told him I couldn't do that, but he was trying, so. Alright, so what I'm doing is, I'll get this in the head tonight, and then maybe tomorrow when I come back from seeing my parents, I'll install it into the neck. The reason why I do this is when you do it and you start playing with the neck, it won't twist and come out. It just kind of like locks it in better. So that's why I do this little bending thing to help it stay in place. Yeah, 1/6 and 1/7 are they're harder to work on because they're smaller. Not that I can't, but it's kind of, those things are always, just don't like the scale. Not that I won't do it, it's just not really a fan of it. Okay, so there is the neckline. Leave that like that. So the other thing too is I found a couple hands, and I think these will work. I hope they will. So helmet's kind of almost there. I gotta prime it up. So I found these hands, and I think they're in scale. Now the only problem is I know, you know, I found a picture. So you know how she has her hand holding that helmet. Sadly, we're not going to be able to do that because it's just sculpted that way. So basically, what I'm thinking we do is get this arm here, right? Figure out where this helmet goes in here. Alright, and then I found this hand, so maybe this hand can sort of, it's not going to really be able to hold it correctly, but maybe sort of kind of look like it's holding it underneath, maybe. Something like that. I have to figure it out when I get closer to getting this in here somehow. We'll figure it out. And then for her hands on this side, you know, I got these hands that are probably in scale. So what I could do is we could put this hand here and then sort of put this hand over like that type thing. So I'm thinking we swap out these hands, or we use a fist on this hand if you want a more of a fist. But I think I think this hand is too small for a fist, which I would have to find. I might have to print a fist though. That's going to be hard because. So that's the only problem. Is I went through all my fists and this is the only one I have in small, and I think it's just too. It's close, but it might be too small. Yeah, it looks a little too small. But this hand seems to be in good scale. Plus, I guess she's supposed to have gloves too, so I'll have to make it work. Oh, so the other thing, I guess while you're here and before I close up the stream, slowly getting there, is you sent this image. You sent this image, which is sort of, since we're doing the cleavage, so I guess we do the strap, but not actually have the strap go across, like make it loose. But what I was thinking of, instead of that, let me try to show you with this silly putty. So we can do the, alright, we'll do the release hand, so I'll keep those two. I just gotta make sure I get the correct scale because I have a bunch of them on there. So what I was thinking of doing is, you know, we have a strap like this. I'm actually glad I had these hands and I saved them because they look like they're in perfect scale. Yeah, we have one strap here, but I was thinking instead of one long strap, what we do is maybe we do like a belt buckle system, maybe, and we sort of have, you know, like the strap like there or something, and then this strap over here with like a sort of like a buckle type thing, you know, sort of like this, something like, I mean, of course this is shitty, but you get the idea of what I'm thinking, you know. Or if you don't like it that far up there, we could bring it further back underneath here. Something like that. Yeah, you said it was Spica or SPICA. That's how I found it on E2046. But I can't find what like anime it's from. What's up, Terrell? Yeah, like I said, you said it was Spica, and that's it. So that's roller derby? Yeah, I didn't think that was roller derby. She didn't have any stuff on her feet. No, alright. It was just more about pose? Fine. I don't know. So what do you think, though? Go somewhere like this? Or do you want to go more underneath the breast area? Like, it's either up further or underneath the arm more. So there's more something like this. So this is kind of more underneath of it or a little bit forward. Give me a little bit of a feedback on that, just so I could kind of figure out, because I figure this will help me a little bit better when I'm ready to do like the wrinkles underneath her breasts and on her side. It's definitely hot out there when the tap water's hot. Alright, so you kind of want a little bit more underneath here like this. Okay. So this will probably come down a little bit more as well. Alright. I'll keep that in mind when I'm ready to do it. Sort of like that. So if that's the case, alright. Well, I'm just giving you a rough idea of how I'm going to do it. It's not going to be like flopping too much off, and I might even use metal rods, but I'm thinking more of like the artwork here. Like this right here, see, I'm following this more, her outfit, than what you sent here. This was just kind of cleavage information, but this is kind of what I've been following more. So I figure like I'm going to try to make it in a way where I do the wrinkles onto the thing. Sort of what I did for Joe's Gwen. Where's Gwen? Here it is. I can't guarantee I'll do it, but I'm going to try to sort of set it up like I've been working on the Gwen a little bit. It's going to be different, of course, but you see how I sort of put this into the wrinkle system? So I'm going to try to do that a little bit, but your item is a little bit more different, but that's kind of what I'm going to try. And then anything that sticks out would be like the metal rods. So that's kind of the idea so far. Alright, yes, alright, so I guess that's the plan. Alright, so hopefully tomorrow I can get the head attached. And then I'll send you pics, you pick which angle you like or whatever, and then I'll snap it into place with some Aves, build out the neck, and then I can start doing the collar and everything. As far as the backpack, I guess the backpack is fairly simple. I mean, you guys know this more than I do. Like, the only information I have is this weird square thing. Because a lot of the pictures I looked online, I couldn't figure out what the hell this, like, it's like a metal square, right? Is that what it is? With, like, some weird lines and a little circle thing? This girl doesn't have it. She doesn't even have straps for cosplay. You know, he's got, wait, is this her or is this a dude? He's got like man boobs. but it goes over the chest. Yeah, I won't be doing the backpack for a while, but I was just kind of curious of what the hell it is. You know, I don't know if maybe there's some kind of 3D print thing we could just print out too. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. Like zooming in, it's like a metal square, but it's got like cut off angles, and it's got like, I don't know. It's weird. I can't see it. It's too blurry. I'm wondering if like Cults has something. Yeah, if you have any ideas, Raz, I mean, like I just looked online and I just found this ring box that kind of looks like it. Like I just went on Cults, and Cults looks like that. It looks like that almost, you know. I'm looking up metal container square, metal container. Maybe metal, metal pack, metal pack. Yeah, I'd have to sift through Cults more. If you see anything, Raz, let me know. I mean, the only thing I could think of is like, you know, you print this, but you just cut that off and you use that part as the backpack, and then you just kind of sculpt a circle and a couple lines on it, you know, something like that. Unless, Raz, you think you can make something like that too, I don't know. If it's simple and it's not costly, I guess we could go ahead and do it, you know. But yeah, we got time on that. I wanna get more of this other stuff focused on first, but that'll be the last thing to add, because I figure add the backpack and then the hair will be the final thing. Hair is always at the end. It's Maria from Robotech Macross. There's not very many characters of her. Well, there's not very many sculpts of her, that's what I'm trying to say. Amelia? Well, why does everyone call her M-A-R-I-Y-A or something? I don't know. You guys in these weird Japanimation stuff. Be normal and just collect Iron Man crap. Come on. Ah, well, whoever it is, we'll get it situated. So that'll fit in there pretty well. Yeah, I'll just chop that off, make a hole, and plop it in. Well, when I looked on Cults, none of that came up, or CG Trader. No, I don't paint Iron Man, but that's kind of the thing. It's the kind of the normal collector thing, I guess. I don't know. So let's make sure this hand is, yeah. This one's the same size. Okay. Get all these hands out of here. All right, so we pretty much got it all worked out. Yeah, I just gotta keep plugging away at it. Alright, and I guess, let's see, so is she supposed to have a watch, or is that just that one drawing? Because I'm not seeing it on the other figures. Is that just like, is this something that, oh wait, it's not a cuff, it's like watches on both arms? Is that what it is? Is this supposed to be like cuffs or watches? Like, is this what's supposed to be there? Or is it supposed to be gloves? What the hell? That's the problem when you don't have a lot of information on these outfits. And then I started looking online, and and I even went on DeviantArt, and I was looking up the character, and everybody was drawing them different. So it was like, it was still the basic same outfit, but it was like, it was still different variations. So I guess there's, unless you watch the anime, you don't have the, I guess you have to have the specific. Do you have the anime? Like, if you have the anime, why don't you, I don't know if it's just like, if you have it on a computer, take screenshots. So, Flight Navigator cuffs, I don't know. Alright, so basically something like that, I guess. If you got a couple screenshots, Raz, that'll kind of help me a little bit more. Especially with the backpack. It's definitely her hair from the back. I would like to see like better stuff on her hair. And I guess also like a good side view. Because like here she has these big bright white sides, but when you look here, it's kind of similar, but then the toy doesn't. Yeah, no rush. I don't need it tonight or tomorrow. I was just kind of curious, because I got to figure out how I'm gonna do the white on the sides and the shoulders. I mean, if I had the anime, I would do it too. I just don't have it. So I guess too, it's kind of like they have that cross piece here too. So yeah, the hair will help too, especially from the anime, so I get an idea better on how the hair flows on the other side of her. Yeah, alright, whatever. That's fine. I appreciate the help. Nah, if Raz has it, just a couple good, nice still images. You can spam my email. I don't need 1,000 of them, but I just kind of need a little bit better, a little bit more than what I have on there. That's all. Just to give me a better idea of what I'm looking at, because I'm still kind of doing it my way in a sense, how I would see an outfit look. Because her outfit's a little bit more baggier in this picture. But I'm kind of making it a little bit tighter in here. So yeah, because so I'm hoping next week I could kind of like do a little bit more on her, and then I want to get on Joe's kid. I got to get that hair done for his Gwen. So that's kind of like the goal next week, and then if I can, if I don't have any more problems, maybe I can do a garage day. I still got to get in that garage and start sanding all this crap. I finished up the blob kit, and I just did my video, so I got to get that posted this weekend. And then that's kind of it for now. So I think that's where I'm cutting the stream. I figure I could go just kind of relax a bit. Veg out. I need it. So with that, you guys have a good 4th of July weekend. Appreciate the feedback. And then we'll see you next week. Alright?